Hello everybody, welcome to tutorial number 4 of the introduction tutorial series for Make Games with GameMaker. This tutorial series is all about making a very basic game using the drag and drop options, using the Evil Clutches demo from the GameMaker's Apprentice. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at giving our characters some health so that they can die, and obviously that will mean that we need to get the highest score we can before that happens. And we'll add in some extra little things like a background and some sounds. And finally, if we get time, if not in the next tutorial, we'll add in a menu screen and a high score table as well. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is to give our dragon some health. So obviously, whenever we use a variable, we're going to need to create that variable to start with so that we know what we've got. So we're going to generate a create event for our dragon. And what we'll do is we'll set the health up first, and we'll set it to a value of 100. So when our character starts, they're going to have 100 for their health. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take some of that health away if something goes wrong. So if we do a collision event, and if we collide with a demon, we're going to want it to take some of our health away. So again, we're going to set some health, but this time we're going to set it to -20. So it's going to take away 20 every time we collide with a demon. And we'll set that to relative so that it's going to take that away from the 100 that we start with. Rather than instantly setting our health to -20, it's going to take 20 away. When we collide with the demon, what we're also going to want to do is we're going to want to destroy it as well. So if we put in a destroy instance, set that to other, so that way the demon will disappear once we've collided with it. Okay, so that will take us some health away. So now what we've got to do is draw the health on the screen so the player can see what's going on. So for that we're going to need a draw event. Now whenever you use the draw event, it means that anything that would have been created by this dragon in terms of being drawn on the screen no longer will be unless we tell it to do it again. So at the moment, all we're doing with the object dragon is drawing the sprite for the dragon. But now we've got a draw event, it's not actually going to draw it unless we tell it to do it. So if you ever have that problem where you create a draw event, maybe to put your health on or to draw a score or something like that, if you don't remember to put in the draw self or draw sprite and generate around there, then you're not going to actually see this object's sprite image. So we're going to pop in draw self so that we make sure that we still draw the dragon. And then what we need to do is we need to draw the health. Where is it? In here. So we use the draw health function. And what this does is this creates a bar, which will be our health bar. So we just got to tell it where it's got to go. So the x1 and y1 will be the starting x and y coordinate, and the x2 and y2 will be the ending x and y coordinate. So let's put it at the bottom because we've currently got our score at the top of the screen. So if we say it starts 120 along, 450 down, I think our room's 480. We'll make it go to 520, so it's 120 off of each side. We'll make it 10 pixels deep, so we'll go 460, so it'll go 10 pixels down. The back color will make red, so it'll look like the red comes in, and yeah, bar color green to red, so that makes sense. That's pretty good. These coordinates are based on the room, not based on our object dragon. So if we wanted to draw a little health bar above his head or something, then we could change these coordinates and make them relative to the dragon's coordinates, and that health bar will follow him around. But this is based on the room, so we'll just push OK on there. Okay, I think that should be it for the health bar to be working, so let's see how that goes. Hopefully it will be displayed down the bottom, and when we get hit by a demon it will take 20 off of it. So we've got a green bar which represents 100. So if we get hit by a demon, should have let him hit me, so we hit that one, it's taking 20 off. Oh, it's getting right down to low. One more and we're going to have a full red bar. Okay, which would technically be us dead, but we haven't written in that we would die yet. But the bar seems to work okay, so that's all good. Okay, so next up what we want to do is we want to add an evil baby. So the point of an evil baby is it looks very similar to a normal baby that we want to collect, but these are going to be bad for us, so they're going to look similar, so we're going to be almost collecting them, but we want to stop that from happening. So first of all, we'll just create a sprite for the evil baby. Load that up into here. So that's what it's going to look like. And then obviously we've got to give it some control. So we need to create an object for it as well. But it's going to be quite similar to the baby. So what we'll do is we'll duplicate the baby and call it object evil baby. Make sure we remember to change the sprite. So we've got an evil baby sprite for it now. Now when it's created, it's still going to be traveling in the same direction as a normal baby. When it collides with a fireball, we're going to want both to be destroyed, but it's not actually going to be a bad thing for it to hit the fireball. It's going to be a good thing. So we'll change the score to 500, so that's a good thing if we destroy it. Goes out of the room, we want it to be destroyed, and if it hits the boundary, we want it to reflect. So that's the evil baby. Next up, we're going to want to decide what happens when we collide with one. So this will be a bad thing. So if we collect a baby, what happens is we score 500 points and we obviously destroy the other instance. If we collide with a bad baby, so we collect a bad baby, we're going to want to set the score to -500, so it's a bad thing. We're going to want to also make it do us some harm, so we'll take our health down by 20 relative, and obviously we're going to want to destroy the instance of the baby as well, so we'll just go destroy instance other. So that's what happens if it's collected by the dragon. Next thing obviously we need to do is we need to generate them, so we go into the boss. So within the step event, we've got a 1 in 80 chance to create a demon, a 1 in 80 chance to create a baby. What we just want to do is we want another 1 in 80 chance to create an evil baby as well. So find the chance, so with a chance of 1 in 80, I'll put the brackets in. It's good practice when we come to code, and we'll create an instance of the evil baby, and that'll be 0, 0 relative, just like the other ones. If you don't know what this is all about, we did this in the last tutorial. Okay, that's great. So hopefully that should create our evil baby now, and when we get hit by it, it's going to take a little bit of our health off. It's going to damage our score, so we're going to want to try and destroy them with fireballs. So it's a good baby, crikey, a good baby followed by a thingy. There's some evil babies. So if I collect a load of those, that is not good for my health whatsoever. I'm almost dead. I'm going to want to try and avoid them now, because otherwise it's going to be the death of me. Try and destroy them with fireballs, get myself lots of points. Don't destroy those, because they take our points down. Demonstrate how it works. Collect that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Collect that one, destroy that. Okay, let's let it kill us. Okay, so our health is 0. And in a second, that means that we'll be finished and our score will be our score. And we'll see if we can get that into a high score table. Okay, that all seems to work as we want it to. So next up, what we want to do is we want to add a background and some sounds to our game as well. So first of all, let's create a background. So the background image is exactly that. It's just obviously going to sit behind the characters. It's not going to have any actions. So it's not going to be a sprite that we can then turn into an object. It's literally just going to be an image in the background. So let's get that on first. So it looks like that for this particular game. And then what we're going to want to do is put that into the room so that it creates the backdrop to the main room. So what we can do is we can change the background on the background tab. And there we go. So now we have a background for our room. Don't think there's anything else we need to do in here at this point. So that's great. And then let's just add some sounds to the game as well. What I won't do is create the music for the game, because then it's just going to dominate the video whenever we go into the game from now on. So what we will do is add some sound effects for when we destroy the demon and the baby using a fireball. So first of all, we'll just load a demon sound. We'll call it a sound demon. That's all we need to do there, so we'll just push OK. And then what we're going to want to do is when the demon collides with a fireball, which kind of if we put it in here or in the demon. So when it collides with the fireball, we're going to want to play that sound. So we'll go to the sound tab, which is in here somewhere. So here we go. So we'll play a sound, be the sound of the demon. We're not going to want it to continue to play over and over again. It's just a little short snippet. So we'll just leave that loop on false. And we'll do exactly the same thing and create another sound. And we'll do this for the sound of the baby. So we'll just load this up. This will be the sound of a baby. So if we hit the baby with a fireball, we'll also make a sound. So if we go into object baby, collides with a fireball, what was it in here, and we'll make it play the sound of a baby. Again, false for the loop. Okay, so let's see if we can hear these sounds and have a look at the background now that we've put it in the game. Oh, taking a little bit longer to compile because it's compiling the WAV files that we've popped in. As your games get bigger, they take longer and longer to compile. The game I'm currently working on takes about 20 minutes. So as you can hear, when we shoot the baby or the demons, we get these little sound effects. We should probably add it in for the baby, for the evil babies as well. They're just misunderstood babies. But that works, and we can see how the background works as well and adds a little bit to the game. What it has done, of course, is it's made our score very hard to read because it's in a black font. So let's see if we can change that quickly. First of all, so back into our object score, we're drawing the score, but what we can do within the draw event is we can set the color first. So if we pop the color above and change the color to white, then okay, listening to it back, I can tell that the demon and baby sounds are very loud when you listen to the video, not so much on mine. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come into the demon and turn the sound effect right down to about here, and the same with the baby, just so they don't overpower the video from now on. So there's the demon and baby sounds down. Obviously we set the score to white just before I cut off. So we'll just quickly compile and just make sure that that all works okay. And then we should be just about ready to try and look at finishing the game and doing some high scores and things. Okay, so I shoot these. Sounds quite quiet to me, but hopefully it's a good volume for you. I'm just going to put the sound on the evil babies as well, actually. So that all seems to work okay. And the main reason why we're in here actually is just to see that the score is now in a white font, so it's a lot easier to read against the background. Okay, so we'll just quickly make it if we destroy an evil baby, that we also get to hear the sound. And loop on false. Okay, that'll do for now. Okay, before we leave, we just want to do one more thing, and that's we're going to create an opening room for our title screen. And then what we can do in the next tutorial is we can look at how we make the game end by the life running out and generating a high score from that, and the classic high score table. So first of all, let's just create an opening room so that we can get that under our belts. So we've got a like a menu sprite that we can use for the title screen, so we'll just use that for now. It can always be expanded, obviously, within your own game. You're certainly going to probably want to put in some new game or exit game option buttons, that sort of thing. But since we're just making our first very basic game, we won't worry too much about that at the moment. So we've got a nice title there, so we create a title sprite there. And what we'll do is we will generate a new room, which will be our opening room. So we'll call that, select this first. Call this room, whatever, menu for now. It's going to want to be the same size as the other room, which I think is 640 by 480. I'm keeping the 30 steps per second for the speed. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put a background on here, just so that it stays consistent. And then what we're going to want to do is put that above the main so that it goes into that room first. When the game kicks in, it'll always go to the first room in the room list. And then we'll create an object for the title. Object title. Give it the title sprite. And then what we're going to want to do is for a key press on the spacebar, we'll make it go into the next room, which will be that one. So we'll start in the title room, we'll push the spacebar. We just need to obviously put that into the room now as an object so that it's there. We'll line it up roughly in the middle, doesn't matter too much for this demo, and so that should be in there. So now when we run the game, we should be able to push the spacebar in the menu screen and it will take us through to the actual game. Let's give it a go. So we'll push it and there we go, we're into a game. And we can start to get a score together before we lose our life. And that should do us for now. Okay, so what we've done so far is we've generated a very basic game using the drag and drop options, where we've got a very simple open title screen that goes into the main game. We've got a life bar that will get decreased when we get hit by the baddies, and we've got a score that will go up when we collect the goodies, and the score will also go down when we kill some goodies. So it's a very simple game as it is. What we need to do now is we need to determine what happens when it gets to the end of the game. So when our life runs out, we're going to have a score and we're going to want to be able to record that score in the high score table, and that is what we will be doing in part 5, which will probably be the last part of the introduction tutorials before we can go into some more complicated stuff. Okay, so join me for part 5 where we'll finish this game off. Have a good day. Bye for now.